Today, we become legends.
So you guys seem to enjoy learning about the past of Smite in my previous added features video, so I'm back with a part 2. As with the first one, these are meant to be small features that were added to the abilities, not complete reworks of the god in question. If you're looking for videos on reworks, I'll link a few from me in the card at the top right. These videos take a long time to make, and if you want to help me create more videos in the future and show your support for the channel, then check out the join button down below. You can get your own custom evolving channel badge that shows in the comments and live streams, custom emotes, exclusive polls and behind the scenes content, and tons of other cool stuff to say thanks. But with that said, let's jump into these features. Feature number 1 is a very recent one that you probably do know of, that is YMIR's ability to remove the wall early by reactivating it. I know this one's very recent and a lot of you probably already knew about it, but it's just one that I had to include. It's such a nice feature for YMIR to, like, if you mess up a wall or something, you can just instantly bring it down and it's not a problem, and it also reduces the cooldown so you can reuse it again. It just makes YMIR feel a lot better, and it's actually a lot more competitively viable because of this change. Feature number 2, ZHONG having the buck from his 3 regardless of if it's on cooldown or not. It used to be just if it was off cooldown you would have that bonus auto attack damage effect, but now he gets it all the time. Feature number 3, VAMANA having a health shield in his ultimate. So this was part of 2 changes to kind of stop VAMANA being countered super hard by certain abilities. This one is obviously aimed mostly at anti-heal because VAMANA obviously his main way of surviving when he ulted before was like healing through the damage, but with the prevalence of anti-heal in Smite, like a lot of strong anti-heal exists in the game, it kind of made VAMANA's ultimate a little bit awkward to use when you were just like 80% anti-healed as soon as you used it. So having that health shield just gives him a little bit of protection against people building heavy anti-heal against him and allows him to survive a bit better. Feature number 3, the lingering flames left behind after AGNI's used his 2 so that he can activate his 1 off of it. A little while ago they changed it so that AGNI's 2 leaves a little bit of lingering flame for maybe half a second after the ability ends that gives you just enough time to throw the 1 straight onto it after you've used the 2 and it'll still get the stun. That was a feature that wasn't always around, and it's sometimes relevant for AGNI to like activate that stun like over a wall or something to follow up with his bombs. Feature number 5, Nezha's ring doing reduced damage when hitting the same target. So this is a very interesting one because Nezha Ring used to do full damage regardless of like how many times it hit the same person. So if you bounced it between the same person like 4 times each, it will do an insane amount of damage. So this change was very much needed because sometimes if you just got caught out with like 2 people close to each other, Nezha Ring could half health both players. So I'm glad this was changed. Feature number 6, Hebo's Carpet giving allies speed instead of just himself. On release it would just give the speed to him, and also having slow immunity in general. It didn't always have the slow immunity. So Hebo's Carpet is one of the most underrated and strong abilities in the game in my opinion, and the main reason is because of that insane slow immunity, but also having the extra movement speed for allies is really nice as well. But yeah, both those features were added in after release. Feature number 7, Hades 2 actually applying Blight instead of just consuming it. So Hades 2 used to only consume Blight to activate the fear and wouldn't actually apply it, so the whole way that people clear the wave with Hades now, where they 2 and 3 the wave, that just didn't really work. So definitely a good feature that they've added there. It means Hades doesn't necessarily have to like dash the wave, because that's what people had to do before. You had to sort of dash 3 the wave because you didn't really have a way to mass apply the Blight to the wave, whereas like the 2 obviously does that now. Feature number 8, BAKASURA being able to eat his own regurgitated minions. So this is a very interesting one that is essentially a nice way for BAKASURA to both keep up his passive in a fight and also get a little bit of healing when you're not necessarily fighting around minions or jungle camps, because that does happen sometimes, especially on like sieges and things like that. So when BAKASURA ults, if he does need a little bit of healing, also gets a bit of protections from eating his minions as well. Like you just have something to eat if you're not necessarily fighting around a wave or whatever. Feature number 9, Ra's healing providing power and protections to allies that stand in it. This ability used to only heal at release, and eventually they added in the fact that you get bonus protections and power by standing in the AoE. Feature number 10, various stance switchers, I think including Artio, Ula, and maybe Tia, are able to view their opposite stance cooldowns displayed on their passive meter. So like for example, if you're in Axe stance with Ula, you can see your bow stance cooldowns. This is a really nice feature that wasn't always around for these gods. Like you had to basically swap stance like for half a second to check your cooldowns and then swap back. Now you can just know your cooldowns. Feature number 11, Fenrir's 3 having cleave damage regardless of the rune count. So for the longest time with Fenrir, if you use the 3, it wouldn't have any AoE damage unless you are at maximum runes, and then if you were at maximum runes, it would actually consume the runes to do the AoE cleave damage, whereas now Brutalize just does cleave damage regardless. And on a similar note, feature number 12, Cupid's heal not consuming hearts but still benefiting from them. So yeah, Cupid's hearts used to consume his passive meter to boost the healing from them, whereas now they still get the boosted healing if you're on maximum hearts, but they don't consume them, so you can still use the hearts for like stun on heart bomb or whatever. So that was a really nice feature that was added. Feature number 13, Kelly's ability to choose her marked target at the start of the match or on death. This used to be entirely random, but it did still have the mechanic where if your target died it would swap. That's always been a feature, but it's just really nice for Kelly to to be able to choose like the enemy mid laner or the enemy jungler, assuming she's in jungle, or like her lane opponent if she's in a lane or whatever at the start of the game. It just makes it a lot easier for her to sort of confirm that target kill in the early game and have that extra penetration, instead of it like selecting the enemy solo laner or whatever, which you're not really going to have any kill potential on early game as the jungler for the most part, so it's just nice to be able to choose. Feature number 14, Raz 2 cleansing and having immunities to slows. So this one is also a pretty recent one, I think. For the longest time, Raz 2 would like slow enemies, but it won't really do too much for him, but now it cleanses and gives him immunity to slows, which is actually a pretty big deal against certain abilities like Cupid's ultimate and things like that. And any long duration slow really, like it's good against Bakasura ultimate, all that kind of stuff. Like anyone that's trying to kill you with long duration slows, Nemesis as well, Ra does a lot better against that now. Feature number 15, YMIR's passive applying 15% damage reduction to the target. So this is another small change that I think most people didn't really notice was added. YMIR's passive has always been the frostbite, where like your auto attacks do double damage to the target, which seems a bit weird for a Guardian, but a little while back they added this 15% damage reduction that you like apply to the target that you hit with frostbite. And that makes a lot more sense for a Guardian in my opinion. Like a Guardian's gonna go in like, and when he hits the freeze or whatever, even when the freeze wears off, you're still gonna have frostbite on that enemy and they're gonna be doing 15% reduced damage to your team, which is a really Guardian-like ability. I kind of like this change. Feature number 16, Isis passive having 10% cooldown reduction when you complete the stacks, and also the stacks being permanent. They used to fade over time. So yeah, when Isis was originally released, she had like a very similar passive that would stack up regen and stuff, but the stacks would fade over time. And recently they changed it so that the stacks don't fade, and then when you do get to the max stack count, which I believe is 10 currently, you get a 10% cooldown reduction bonus, which is just really nice. Feature number 17, being able to direct Artemis's ball to hit a specific target first. So Artemis in her targeter for her ultimate now has a little sort of cone that you can, if someone's like in the cone, the ball will target them first. That used to not be the case. The ball targeting was kind of weird. It was either completely random or it was like closest target first, something like that. And it just kind of felt really terrible, and it's nice that Artemis can now sort of almost pick who she wants to hit the ball first. So if she has like a primary target that she wants to shred down, she can make sure the ball hits them first. On a similar note, feature number 18 is Nuwa being able to target enemy gods with her minions to make sure they went on the right target for the stun combo. Similar to Artemis, the targeting for these minions was super weird for the longest time, and it's really nice to be able to like pick who you want them to go on so that you can make sure you get that stun combo. Feature number 19, Hunbat's being able to teleport to targets hit by the monkey on his 3. So this wasn't always a feature. The monkey would just do damage and nothing else, but a while back they added the feature to teleport to his monkey on his 3, which gives him a lot of extra nice mobility. And finally, feature number 20, VAMANA having the phantom effect when using his ultimate. So very similar to the shield that he got to prevent anti-heal, he got this phantom effect where you can walk through player-made walls to stop him getting countered so much by Odin. So that was a really nice change in my opinion. It was often like VAMANA would just get ringed in by Odin and he's kind of useless, so like I think I kind of like this change. But that's it for this one. I have a few more features in mind, and I'm sure I could think up some extra ones if I had a look around the Smite wiki for a part 3, but if you do want to drop some down below that you know about, then I might pick some for the next episode. A couple of these ones were taken from the comments of the first part, so I do read all the comments on these ones, but with that said, I'll catch you guys in another one later on. Have a great day, and peace out, you nerds.